Well, the day is here. Today, I think this vlog is probably for Amber and Sarah, because you guys are the two folks that have talked to me about either finding this interesting or, Jennifer, you really need to do that. Today, I am going to spend 1 hour, just 1 hour, and start to organize the props. Now, right now the props exist in 3 places. Down here in the office, along the narrow, if the office is like a square, and within the square there's like an L and then another little square. In the skinnier part of the square, the longer part of the, in the skinnier part of the L, the longer part of the L, that's where we have some of the props stored right now. And that's what I'm going to be tackling today. I'm going to give myself 1 hour and see how far I can get. The first pass, the pass that I have to do myself is to go through everything and figure out what is still even viable to keep. And then after that is when we can get into cataloging and inventorying everything. So, and that's when Amber has, I don't know if volunteer is the right word. I don't think that's the right word. Demands. I kind of feel like she's been like drafted, but she is the best producer we have ever worked with in terms of organizing, in terms of the things that a producer does, organizing an entire production, making sure that it wraps on time, making sure that everyone is fed and where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be, that the right props are in the right scenes, that kind of continuity. And so we thought that it really does make sense that she be involved in the inventorying of the props. So for those of you who have been waiting for more than a year for this to begin, I thought that I would actually take you guys with me. So I am going to set up so that you guys can see the work that gets done in an hour in a time lapse. And then I'll check back with you and we'll see how much progress we made. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys soon. All right, so after that first little batch, let's see what we did. So what we did is for this first little bit, I tackled right here, this area. These are trifolds being held up by a piece of foam core. These trifolds are for building sets for papercraft and puppeteering. So those we know are going to stay, and those definitely fall into the prop category. This, however, this box is equipment, and I'd like to start designating different places for equipment as opposed to props. This is what we'll tackle next. That basket has become like a basket of holding for all things. So, and then after that, we'll tackle these bins. Okay, so then what I divided just now is, these are things that are a little bit, not dangerous, but you guys know what I'm saying. This is like fake blood, and that one stains. And this is some shattered glass for when we need shattered glass. So those are going to stay in kind of a zippered pouch so they don't, spill or get mixed in with other things. These are the props that need to stay so far. This is anything from, we've got backpack. It's amazing how many times there's like a backpack called for and someone doesn't have a backpack to bring. This is backpacks, bottles, little black boxes, a VR headset, jewelry for specific characters. Some of this stuff is tagged already for specific projects, but that doesn't mean it can't be used for other things. Same with the stuff underneath. Now, this is one of the big reasons why this needs to happen. All of this stuff was in props, but none of this stuff is props. All of this is office equipment or filming equipment. So that being in props can get really confusing, especially when someone needs something as simple as like staples, or like literally a staple, like for a stapler, or if someone is looking for the HD projector, or the materials to build trophies, or the materials to build a bracelet, or an amp. So that's why this stuff really needs to be divided. Now, so far, not a lot of garbage has been accumulated, just that right there. Those are things that are just hopelessly out of date now and cannot be used, or literally just trash because it was packaging that something else was in. Then the other stuff that we have is over here. This is an empty bag that I think, a handle bag that's going to come in handy. This white plastic bag is filled with raw materials for the Space Marines action figures. So, and this little container is the same thing. It's some raw materials for some Lego prototypes. So those things, again, should not be in props. Should they be in office supplies? Should they be in ongoing projects? That might be something that I'm going to have to wait to figure out when I have my trusty assistant, Amber. But okay, let's tackle a little bit more, because so far we don't have anywhere to put any of this stuff. We don't have anywhere to store it for the time being. We don't have any free bins. So let's keep going. All right, so step 2 is done. And we have the basket. It is now empty, is no longer a basket of holding. And of this basket, what we got, a little bit of garbage, a few more prop items, which, as you guys may have been able to pick up from the time lapse, I was able to bag a lot of the costumes into outfits that go with each other. Some blue wooden tablets that are then chroma on one side, so you can punch out the chroma, so like, you know, make it like a electronic screen or something like that. Not that much more garbage. I mean, well, no, I'm sorry, there is that pile right there, but not that much more office supplies. And then some of the times you guys may have been able to notice I was walking completely over to here. I think I found a couple of items that were Brienne's personal items, some necklaces that she had. The family is constantly doing this, you know, donating something for their character to wear or another character to wear. And so, you know, those sometimes then get filed away with props. And so far the time elapsed, including video time, so the time it takes me to do these little videos, is 25 minutes. So I think we're still looking pretty good. Here is some things that just should never have been in props at all. The tripod is just laying there, but that's my laptop bag that I was literally, my personal laptop bag that I was literally looking for yesterday and couldn't find. A t-shirt that I absolutely love. You guys know I have an addiction to t-shirts. So, you know, I don't smoke. I can't drink because of the anemia thing. You guys know, I miss a nice shot of Patron, but so now my new addiction is t-shirts. So this one says Between Wind and Water, and I like that. I don't know why it was in props. Maybe somebody wore it underneath something, because I never remembered actually being worn, or something like that. And then this looks like it's a blue muscle shirt of Max's. So, you know, again, Max is like, I have nothing to wear. And I'm like, aha, I think I know where all your stuff is. Okay, so I told myself, remember, just 1 hour today. So let's see how far we can get here. Because again, we still don't have a lot of places to put something, even though I'm kind of tempted to repack this basket now that I know what a lot of this stuff is. You know what? I'm going to do that. And I don't think you guys need to see that because that'll be boring. It'll be repacking. But, oh, do you guys remember in some of my vlogs in the past, I've showed you guys the Washington map with the pins in all the different places that we've filmed. This is one of the kids' they had a duplicate map from their school curriculum. And so we absconded with it for the office. And this is some of there's only 2 places outside of Washington that we filmed, but that was kind of fun. So we put that over here. So it's Tucson and Neskowin, Oregon. We're going back to Neskowin actually this year for a feature film. So we really like it there. guys remember, right? You're like, yes, Jennifer. Gosh, you've showed it to us like 90 times. But that's this one. I just love that. And this isn't where our partners have filmed, or even where folks have filmed for a project. This is where literally a DeMarco was on set. You know, that means a lot to us. So, all right, I'm going to go repack that basket, you guys. See you soon. All right, so as you guys may have seen, so now we're tackling these. A little bit more garbage there. We're able to get rid of. See, it's like it's not garbage. See, like at one point, this was a prop. And you guys know, you guys might even recognize this from one of the productions. As you guys know, with micro-budget filmmaking, it's like everything is kind of hung on to until you're absolutely sure that you don't need it again. Because the idea is not to repurchase. Now, as you can see, I'm not really reorganizing or organizing any of this stuff. I'm just kind of putting it back in the bin here. I'm not even really pulling stuff that I know might be used soon, or holding on. Like, I know we have more bones somewhere, but I'm not holding on to these or anything like that. I'm just going through, sorting out things that I absolutely know we will never use again. And you're like, well, how could you possibly know that? Well, I'm just, because they're not in good condition, or we have something else that replaces that, or something along those lines. I'm also pulling out stuff, like I said, that really isn't props. You know, like that domo, I guess, could have been a prop, but really it's a personal little doll belonging to either me or Brianne, I'm not sure. And this clipboard, yeah, it could absolutely be used as a prop. Actually, you know what? This one I am going to keep in here because I don't use the chipboard clipboards as my personal ones on set, because if they get rained on, they get ruined. But like, here's a thing I got the kids for school. Here's some instructions for some light equipment that we're actually selling. And here's duct tape, which is a supply, not so much a prop. And I am trying to also, I'm pulling some items over here still. Glass items I'm trying not to really repack. There's the Super 8, you guys. But some of these other things I think I can put into this bin now. So we're slowly but surely clearing off this table. I try to be as creative as possible with the things that I do keep, because I don't want to get rid of something that then we're like, oh, we need to set this scene. Like, for instance, I know that Brianne has a project called Alex in Wonderland that's coming up soon, and I'm wondering, is there a steampunk element, or is that something else that I'm thinking of? And so things like gears and metal cages and like these goggles and stuff like that, you know, that's stuff that I hang on to, because none of these projects have a budget where someone can go and buy all new props. That's just not the way it works. But things have to be organized, and we have to know where things are, because if we don't know where things are, we wind up having to rebuy them anyway. And that, of course, is what we really want to try to avoid. So as you guys can see, I'm trying to keep some of the things that are a little bit more potential for breakage here on the table as long as possible. This is a necklace that I got for Helena for Teatro Season 3. I think that'll be safe in there. Can we fit more in here? Yes. I think we can actually fit the radio in here. So you guys see what I'm doing. And then this way, when I do have my trusty Amber here to help me, she'll be able to open this box and know that, okay, like I'm thinking maybe Maxwell or Faith, or maybe even Kellen. Amber, is Kellen 7 or 8 now? Kellen, maybe even Kellen would like to take pictures. I don't know. You know, I know Max and Faith love that kind of thing. A project like that, it doesn't even feel like work. But what will happen after I've gone through everything, right? Remember, this is just this section. There's 2 more sections of props upstairs. One is just 8 other bins like this that are on the landing, and then there is a 12 by 15 room that is literally packed to the ceiling of loose and binned materials. So again, it's just one step at a time, and I told myself just 1 hour today because I cannot cut myself loose and just do this. Too many other things fall apart that actually create immediate revenue and pay the bills. So I have to be able to prioritize that way. So then the next step will be photographing everything. I really like Excel. I'm kind of an Excel junkie, t-shirt junkie, Excel junkie. And so I'm hoping that we'll be able to build a searchable database in Excel to really create what we need. Now let's see what else. So that then I can just search that and find the materials. Now this is pretty breakable, so let's wait on that. I know you guys might recognize some of this stuff from some of our projects. Go. Classic blue backpack. It is stunning to me. You know, you say everyone has a backpack, Jennifer. It's stunning to me how many actors are like, I literally don't own that. And we'll be like, you don't own a white button-up shirt? No, I do not. And so we do try to be as accommodating as possible because that's what it is to be a micro-budget studio. You want it to be a team sport, but it isn't always a team sport. You do have to sometimes step up and bear the brunt yourself because you're the studio. So come on, you guys. All right, so this bin is totally full. So now I'm going to tackle a few other bins, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, okay, 1 hour has passed. The garbage pile has greatly grown. So that is all garbage. We're going to get rid of all of that. So as you guys can see, everything marked with a red flag has now been sorted. Everything in there is usable, it's good, it should be kept. Here's some things that just need to go other places in the house. Here's some larger items. Well, actually, this is a biological prop. So, you know, like a dead bug or something that's mummified or something like that. It's completely dry, it's totally safe, it weathered fine, but we actually have a separate place that kind of stuff goes, so that needs to be put with that. Some of these larger items need to be put away. Now, this is the one thing that I did not anticipate. All of this equipment and office supplies. So we only have one cupboard in here. And that's this one that was given to me by my uncle, who is an architect, and he wasn't using it anymore, so he gave it to us. That is full of props. Not props, I'm sorry, you guys. It's full of scripts. So, and actually that top shelf does look like it's full of props. So we're going to have to consolidate those props into a bin. But I think the whole rest of it, see, you can kind of see the 3-ring binders are the scripts, and they're stacked right now instead of in a row. So I think once they're in rows, I think this is full. We need something to store office supplies. So this is when I go from over here to my desk over there. Because what that means is that I need to try to look at the budget and crunch budget numbers. And that can get a little bit tricky because often it's, okay, this needs to be delayed in order for us to do that. Like for instance, you'll notice that we have wool blankets up over the windows. Well, that's not really what I want for a professional office. So one of the things that keeps getting placed on the budget list and then pushed back because other things are more essential is curtain rods, you know, nice presentable curtain rods and curtains. Now they need to be what's called blackout curtains because we need to have very thick curtains because the floor in here is concrete. So under these little press-on tiles, there is a concrete floor because this part of the house is on slab. The other parts of the house are on crawl space. So it heats completely differently. Now, what I love about this space is that it's not wood floors. It's very easy to clean. It doesn't need any special cleansers and that kind of thing. So I really like that. But in terms of making sure the space stays warm, we have to make sure that the curtains that we get in here are heavy. The other thing is, if you guys can kind of see this, I believe we need to put in new weather stripping for this door. See it? Because the weather stripping had deteriorated over the years. So these are just like the little things. But anyway, so one of the things that is definitely going to need to be put on the list is, like I said, the curtain rods are already there. But what was the other thing that I just said, you guys? Oh, we're going to have another cabinet. Something. And something that, right, doesn't look ridiculous, like 57,000 different Michelins in here. So what do you guys think? Probably put it right over here. And that should be able to hold supplies. Or I guess we could try to consolidate. This little tiny table could go away. We could get like a cart or something there. Oh, you guys. All right. Well, we'll figure that out. But this is the unexpected result from this bit of propping. So we're going to have to figure that out. That's enough for this week, I think. And day 2. This is the next day, you guys. I did just one more hour again today. You guys remember I had red tags on all of these, but now I don't need to tag them all differently because they are all done. So you can see it seems like there are far fewer of them. And yes, that was something that Brienne actually had anticipated. I wanted to buy a bunch more bins, but she said, you know what? I think you're going to free up some bins. So I was able to consolidate. We've freed up 3 bins so far. As you can see, the filming equipment and the raw materials / office supplies, the things that need to find a new home, that the number of things that has certainly grown. I'm sorry, I'm pretty beat now. And then there were 2 bags of stuff that just was absolutely not salvageable. What we have done is we reached out to our good friend Amber, and she had a wonderful idea, and she did the research for us. We found them on Amazon, and then the company bought them. A large cabinet that will go basically in this space. And what it is it's kind of like a honeycomb of 20 smaller cabinets. So we'll be able to organize the filming equipment and the raw materials into those cabinets when they arrive, which should be in about a week from Amazon. So that's going to be great. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys up to where the next day, so we're leaving the office now, where the next day will be that I have to tackle. So going up, this is basically, it's not, I should light it. See, there you go. Eric Rainey, Amber's husband, put in the light fixture for us after it got slammed into when things were getting moved around and it broke. So that was bad. So we go up the public stairwell from the office up toward the restroom that is accessible for everyone. And here is our next segment of stuff that needs to be tackled. Let's see if we can get a little bit more light going on. Yeah, that's better. So this will be the next day. So some stuff has just gotten tossed there. Some quick costuming was gone through and I was like, okay, yeah, no, so I'll get rid of that in just a moment. But so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like let's say call it 7.5 bins. That'll be the next day. And then you see the door that's hidden behind the grandfather clock. I can't even get to wind it. That will be the next. After this, that will be the next thing to tackle. Now what I'm hoping is to consolidate these so much so that I can then get this stuff down into that empty space downstairs. But we shall see. I don't know if doing this and tackling the prop room itself will wind up being in this vlog, but we'll see, you guys. Depends on when the rotation of new vlogs are needed. Bye for now, day 2. So here we are, day 4, but prop attack day 3. So as you guys see, this was originally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bins, and I've gotten it consolidated down to 5 bins. So I'm sorry, originally it was 7 bins, 5 bins and 2 empties. This bag here is office supplies. And then, so that's pretty darn good. We're doing pretty nice now. Oh look, it's grandfather clock here all along. The kind that I love. The wind, you know, the manual wind. I love the manual wind. Westminster chimes. All right, so you guys, you want to see this, right? This is the final step. Now this is going to be more than one day, but here's what it looks like now. That's as far as the door can open. It's kind of an antique book smell in here. I can't even. There are some bins, but primarily this is not bins. And this is 100%. What you can see here is 100% props. Now, in the back corner, there is a shelf, and I only think 50% of that is props. The other 50% is like medical records and tax return stuff, you know, like personal household stuff. There's costuming. You know, you can see that some of this is raw materials, stuff that was left over for, you know, for making things, or stuff that's waiting still to be made. What I'm really hoping is that not only can all of this be gone through, but really organized. And that's where I know that our friend Amber is, you know, she is just raring to go on that. And also I know she can, because what I need to know, and whether it's done seriously in Excel or not, but what I need to know is I need to know what we have. I need to have pictures of everything. And I need to be able to search by keyword of what something is, but also if it's been used in a project before, I need to know that. If I'm anticipating I may use it in a project in the future, that needs to be a different category. Do you see what I'm saying, you guys? It's like there's so much information. And then there are literally things in here that are like these. So you know how sometimes you just have like loose paper that is, you know, it's on a desk or something like that. But all the props are then consolidated and dumped in here. So like that's, when I say garbage, that's what I mean. So it's nothing icky. There's never anything gross. I know that if you follow my personal page on Facebook, you know, I said, oh, when I went through the props downstairs, the second bunch of bins, you know, there was a dead bird. But I don't mean like a bird flew into the prop room or into the prop bins and died. I mean, there was a mummified bird that was a prop. But it's just that because we consider that a biological agent, that needs to be stored elsewhere. And so it had gotten misfiled. Now it's sealed, like I said, it was totally sealed, but that's not good enough for me. It has to be even more protected than that. Especially since those are items that are rare. And I guess that's another thing too, is that some people say, you literally have like a box of toothpicks. You can buy a box of, like, you don't understand micro budget filmmaking. No, I can't always go out and buy a box of toothpicks, because sometimes there's literally not a budget for a box of toothpicks. Or you think a box of toothpicks is going to be easy to find. In this case, they were just like basic toothpicks, like not plastic, just wooden, tipped on both ends, not beveled on one end, which is a new thing, or with one of those little crinkly cellophanes on one end, basic toothpicks. And we could not find them. We wound up going to 3 places before we found this box of 500. Yeah, darn right I'm going to keep that box. Now, there's also things in here that have been donated to us, sometimes from other studios, which is so sweet. Like Angela and David's studio, they donated a bunch of these DVD cases. And at first we thought, well, that'll be really good for like basic DVDs. But the truth of the matter is we didn't wind up using them because we work with a commercial DVD manufacturer. So that is also the kind of stuff that I'm like, okay, that'll get taken to Goodwill. And there's like giant buckets. You know, there's not that many bins in here actually, is there, you guys? There's some over there. That'll be curious. So I just want to be completely transparent, and it's so important to me that people understand that, I try to do things on a strict schedule, and sometimes I don't make it either. So if you're running a couple of days behind or whatever, I'm not sitting there going, gosh, what is wrong with you? I understand what life looks like. I totally get it. Life looks like this, right? Chaos, chaos. But this will be the next thing. And it's important to me on so many levels. This space is going to become Max's space so that he can kind of have like a mini apartment, because he is 18 now and we want him to have more space. And the business, it can't be allowed to take over our life like this. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind, what micro-budget filmmaking is. And I think the last thing I wanted to say is the other amazing thing about having a massive searchable database, and Amber, I'm not trying to put so much pressure on you, but it's just the reason it's so important, and the reason I'm so looking forward to however long that takes of us working together to do that, is that then I can have our partners that I love and adore come in and sit with me and have a cup of tea and have some little cookies and have some coffee or whatever and say, okay, let's just look through the inventory and let's become inspired. Is there something that you could use for your project? Don't go out and buy it. Let's work together. So that's my hope. So I think I'm going to edit this all together now, you guys. And if this interests you, you guys just let me know in the comments, and maybe I will vlog about tackling this room. Whenever that is. I don't know when my schedule is going to allow me to continue this again, but thank you for following me on this journey. So thank you, you guys. This has been Prop Attack 1 through 3, which was spread out over 4 days. And Amber, I know you're probably sitting there going, Jennifer, just take 3 hours on one day. And I really wish that I could, but I hope you guys are proud of me. I'm proud of me, and I think that's probably important too. But I love you guys, and thanks for following me and walking a little bit of this path with me, because that is the best thing about not being just a novelist anymore and being a filmmaker is I don't feel lonely, and you guys have been an amazing support. So thank you. And